becoming the airplane of stats. And that is it. GG.
We have this one best of three. It should be fun. What can you tell us about Serral? Because I think I've heard the name once or twice. I think I've seen it in DreamHack group stages before, but I really don't know anything about this guy.
He's a player that's played in assembly tournaments and a lot of DreamHack tournaments. He's never really made a big name for himself. He's usually like a round of 64, round of 32 finisher. His best matchup's Zerg versus Zerg, but he can surprise in Zerg versus Terran here with all-ins. But he may try to play a normal game, but I wouldn't be surprised because he is going up against such a talent, such as Supernova, that we may see him fall back onto that aggressive playstyle.
Oh, we'll have to see about that. I hope that that is what we see because Supernova is such a beast anyways. Now, the first map is going to be Belshir Vestige. Your thoughts going into this?
Definitely a predictable two-base map to be all-in-ish if I was Serral, and I would just ride the tide and be like, all right, this is it. Predictable or not, it doesn't matter because I'm so good at doing it, it's going to work.
That's exactly what he's saying to himself. So, down here in the bottom right, from Korea, it is Supernova.
And we'll see how well he can do. Been playing, pretty decently recently. And he goes up against the Finnish player up here in the top left, who goes by the name of Serral. Artosis, some people call him a serial killer.
Oh, well, they're going to be calling Supernova a serial killer in a minute here. Because Supernova is one of the best players in the whole world. He had kind of a rough season, a tough group with 3 great Protosses in the WCS Korea GSL. And, he didn't make it out. He went out in the round of 32, which is too bad because he's been playing the best StarCraft of his career. So he's here, and he's looking to do a bit better this time.
Did you know that that Serral's 14 years old as well?
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, that's a talent right there for you, huh? I mean, a 14-year-old in the second group stage here. If he can do anything against Supernova, that's going to be, like, watch out for this guy.
It's going to be difficult. Because I think that Supernova's going to approach this like, all right, don't really know who this guy is. Going to play my normal game.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be good enough.
Well, he's probably right about that, but we'll see if something really tricky is planned out or something. I don't know. We'll see. But, hopefully, as we finish up this best of 3, we'll have some of these other problems fixed and be able to get in some more games right away, I hope, Apollo. I need more StarCraft.
Yeah, we all need more StarCraft in our lives. We all do. Serral did make his way through Stage 1, had to play in Stage 1. He was not a seeded player into Group Stage 2. And did go 3-0 with a default win over Bunny. And didn't lose a map versus the other 2 players within his group. Dark Thorn and Unstable, the other 2 players. And he's landed himself into this group right now, which is Group I in Group Stage 2. Supernova, Targa, Pal, and Serral.
Well, I feel like that is a tough group. We did go over that a little bit when we get those brackets or the group stages picked. Targa's playing very well recently. Obviously, Supernova. If he can beat Supernova, man, anything's possible, right?
Yeah. He could make it through this group, actually, if he did that for absolute sure, because he could put out a good ZVZ fight against Targa. And if he was able to get this game, this would be a miracle. We've already, got his gas on the way, or see his gas on the way here, and we'll see what he can use for that. It's going to give him a lot of different options, and already Supernova is going to be thinking, well, this could be a fast game I'm going to have to deal with.
It could be, and I think it might be as well. Supernova, after going for that command center first, going straight up into the factory, and we'll see what I think it's just going to be into Hellions. I don't expect anything weird or wonky from Supernova here.
Yeah, he has taken a second gas, though, before adding on a third command center. So this looks like we could see a starport and Banshees come from this.
I think you're right. I think that's pretty much what we're going to end up seeing. There's always the chance that there will be Hellbats. He's definitely one of the players that still uses Hellbats after the nerf. But overall, he's a tech-heavy player. He loves harassment. He loves teching up a lot in the early game really quickly for that harassment. So I'm not surprised to see what I'm seeing.
All right, so speed is on its way here for Serral, and there is the starport being thrown down in a very difficult spot to be scouted. As the Overlords and outside the natural and outside the main are going to poke in very soon to start to find out what's going on. If he can get towards the second gas, he may be able to find out what's going on, but can he get that far in?
I think so. I think so. It looks like he's going to be able to scout that. And when you do see that second gas, Apollo, I mean, you're going to know that it's a starport at minimum. That's the least you'll know, and you'll probably suspect Banshee, possibly some sort of Hellbat play or something like that.
Yeah, I could see it was like a random Blue Flame Hellion build, but upon seeing the tech lab on the barracks and not another factory, then he's pretty much going to say to himself, all right, this should be a starport. And as you said, either going to be Hellbats or going to be, as we can see, or not see, for
It's
Banshee
actually,
play.
yeah, a couple Widow Mines on the way, so we'll see exactly what he wants to end up doing with this. The Hellion's going out. He does have 4, so definitely could be seeing a quick drop of these. In the meantime, a couple evolution chambers coming up for Serral, and that's one way that, let's say that this harassment doesn't do much. That's one way Serral can get ahead. His upgrades are going to be much quicker.
Oh, way much quicker here. The third command center's only just come down here for Supernova, and his engineering bays aren't going to be for a while. But here comes the drop, about to make its way towards the main base of Serral. Can he defend it? He's playing without a Roach War, and he only has Zerglings. They do have Zergling speed, but they are currently out of position. The Overlord will spot this, and immediately a reaction is in face.
I don't think we're going to see much damage done here. Plenty of Zerglings. Nice surrounds, and wow, he actually is going to... just barely not getting that second one, but that was very successful as far as dealing with it.
Yep, so far so good here for the Finnish player, as the double engineering bays are about to complete for Supernova, so there we do have the difference in upgrades, and they are quite heavily favored over towards Serral, who also has the lair on the way, the Baneling Nest down too, and so far so good. His defense has been pretty solid. And he's looking overall in a good position, considering that Supernova had to spend money on that little harassment, which, as we can see, did nothing.
Right now, we do have the Zerglings coming out, and might be able to get these Hellions. Looks like at least one will go down, and that's a pretty strong pickup right there. When you're down to a couple damaged Hellions, your map control is basically gone as Terran. So, you know what? Serral's playing a fine game so far.
Fine game. All he's been focused on is that defense. His Overlord production's been pretty solid as well. He's not had any supply caps. Well, we do have this medevac on the right-hand side, though. Is this going to be the damage dealer, which Supernova's been looking for? There are no units close. The Zerglings are making their way across here.
Oh, okay, that wasn't... Oh, well, that was an okay
drones.
mine hit. Not the best that you could have seen, but...
And another one on the natural. Serral's already there, though. So 2 drones through all this harassment.
It's not so much.
Oh, that Widow Mine.
Yeah, he might end up getting a little bits here still, but...
No, nice spread of Zerglings there as well. So medevac gets pushed away. So 2 drones and 2 Zerglings is the only damage that we've seen being dealt now, and he cleans up that Widow Mine just in time. So as long as 2-2 starts here, which if we see the gas, he's got more than enough gas to do so. Baneling speed on the way as well.
I gotta say, I actually really
solid.
like this play. Going straight into 2-2 and Baneling speed, that's exactly what he needs to make sure that he makes it into the late game. This is actually a fine position. He's shut down every piece of harassment. He's got good map control. He's got pretty good vision overall. His creep spread is looking pretty nice. Supernova hasn't been able to impact that at all.
Yeah,
this is a nice play.
One thing that's missing, though, from regular play is Aspire. So is he going to go to an Infestation Pit fast? Is he going to try to look to get to Ultralist super fast, which is something we don't see very often?
I hope for his sake he doesn't do that. There you go. The Spire does go down.
Yeah.
Looks like he was just kind of saving that for a little bit later, trying to focus on these upgrades a bit more. And at least that's going to keep him safe for now. But these drops are going to get annoying until those mutas are out.
Yep, and well, the drop center, Zerglings and Banelings kind of in place at this point, but there is another drop headed towards the third base as well. So, Viking, excuse me.
Vikings can land, Apollo. It's a dangerous thing. Well, here we go. Does try to clean it up and succeeds. Not too much damage on either side here. But, ooh, nice lane counterattack to the third base, causing some lost mining time and killing SCVs off.
And look at that, the 2-2 hasn't even begun yet for Supernova, whose armory is only just now finishing up. So, things are looking pretty good here for Serral. He hasn't taken too much damage yet. He's got a lot of Zerglings on the way down.
He certainly does. He has that Baneling speed as well. That 2-2 is going to finish, and Burrow finish. So there's a lot of funny and cool stuff you can do with Burrow, Apollo. I am looking forward to maybe some Baneling landmines, some scouting Zerglings, blocking command center places, everything.
Well, these Marines are in here. They can all get picked up by these medivacs, but not today. Not today. And Serral cleans that up as well here. And with 2-2 fast approaching, he's going to start to get quite deadly on the field when he takes any fight. It's going to be much more cost efficient as well as the Mutalist coming into play.
I tell you what, I wouldn't even mind a kind of big attack if he puts a couple of rounds into Lings right now. He would actually, with that 2-2 timing with Baneling speed and the fact that the Widowmine count is so low, the second factory not even halfway done, this would be like a solid time to get aggressive for Serral.
Another counterattack, and there are 2 Marines that stim and run for their lives, as well as a Widowmine that does go off, but he's there, he's going to be harassing, he's going to follow the SCVs off the line. At the same time here, Scanders go down for Supernova on the other side of the map. But there's a big round of Zerglings coming in, 26. Ooh.
I really love moves like this, Apollo. Making him use those scans up. It's fantastic. And on top of that, taking 2 bases at once with this type of creep spread and this type of unit composition, I'm beginning to really like this Serral kid.
Well, +1 attack is halfway on its way now for the Mutalist, and that Widowmine did a lot of damage.
Oh, God, and another one. Oh, those Widowmines.
Well, that hurt a little bit, and he has to replace them. 12 new Banelings coming in, 26 new Zerglings. A drop headed towards the main base here. May stop on the 4th, may get the cancel on it, but
that would be a pretty big deal. If you cancel the 4th right now is Supernova, you're in a lead almost no matter what.
And Widowmines get some more fantastic hits here, and Serral falling a little bit apart to these Widowmines with these Marines on this base too, and if that gets cancelled, as you said, that he really needs to keep this base alive.
You can't be 3 base versus 3 base for this long. He needs that base to finish. Looks like he's going to be okay with that for now, but there's a lot of damage on it, which is going to make it easier for Supernova to get later on.
And Supernova is going to kick off the 4th base. Serral is making a bit of a movement down here with the Mutalist, but to be honest, there's 4 Marines in a bunker. There's a turret there as well. There's SCVs to repair each structure.
I believe there's a Widowmine there as well, so that makes it even more dangerous. The Muta's doing some okay harassment so far, but Supernova just finished 2-2. He's making a couple more command centers, and his supply is starting to get out of control.
Indeed, it is Artosis, as this Queen gets picked off on the 3rd.
And we do have him come in, clean this up for now. But, you know, I'm still a little bit scared for Serral. He's not making any progress in this game. He had a very nice opening, got himself into a good position, but we can see that, you know, maybe he's just a bit less experienced. He's having a hard time controlling Mutiling Bane against the mines, against the Marines, and to be frank, that's the hardest micro in the game.
Yeah, it is very difficult, and he's fallen a little bit apart to these plays. Supernova moves towards his 3rd base, and oh no. Oh, that was a lot of extra hits going down, and he's going to be forced to come defend his 3rd base. And with good Widowmine spread, which we're already seeing from the behind and also from the front of these Marines, this 3rd hatchery is going to get picked off, and he's going to have to take a fight here into Widowmines.
Oh boy, this is not going to look good. Oh, well, the 2nd Widowmine connection, not all that good. That one doing a little bit better. And this is pretty painful, Paul. The economy of Serral is not looking that good. His supply much lower right now.
And there's already a bunch of new units out for Supernova, who is playing fast and furious here as he makes his way towards the left-hand side, which again, the focus, the 4th base of the Zerg player, again under pressure. And Serral's going to have to defend with minimal Banelings here. He rolls in with a couple, and kind of gets a decent hit there, but still not as cost-efficient as he'd like to be making.
He could lose that army several times and be fine. Look at this, hitting this 3rd again. Serral is, at this point, being picked apart.
Yeah, and a 4th base is about to be taken as well by Supernova. There's no Zergling there, I don't think, or there is a Zergling that could borrow to slow that down. But still, at this point, Supernova is a lot more units from where these came. Wave after wave, another squad is ready to move out. Another set of Widowmines. The Zergling doesn't get the bar underneath the command center, and the Zerg player's been worn down.
He has been completely worn down. He was a rock at the beginning, but he's nothing but sand now, Apollo. Sand that is quickly going through the hourglass.
It's a sad story, Artosis.
It is.
From a rock to a
well, you know what? No.
in 20 minutes.
Yeah, and don't worry, guys. We're going to stream the Magaverse Flash, as you see there. It's going to be fantastic. I was actually talking to Maga about it out back a few minutes ago, but I'll save that for later.
Ooh. 3-3 is about to complete here for Supernova as well, so if things weren't difficult already for Serral, mining off just 2 bases compared to 4, and a potential 5th command center about to land on this right-hand side, 3-3 is about to complete.
Yeah.
And this is going to make any fight just heavily favored in Supernova's favor. It already is, because he's got twice the army supply almost at this point. But with 3-3 upgrades as well, everything just becomes that much more scary.
If Serral had 5 bases mining right now, I would still give Supernova a little bit of an edge. So I think that can tell the story pretty cleanly.
Yeah.
It's not much longer in this game. Serral's going to have to GG soon.
As a Zerg player, you sometimes always have that hope, oh, the 4th base isn't there. His minerals are going to slow down, his marines are going to slow down. As soon as he saw that planetary fortress, I'm sure he knows it's got to be now or never.
Well, he's going for it. That's a lot of Marauders, though. The Baneling's actually connecting with them. And it looks like Serral will basically clean up this one army. And in fact, might get quite a few medevacs as well, which is nice. But is that enough, Apollo?
The mutalisk count is kind of high, 25 at this point. They're going to be the cost-efficient units for Serral. And he does equalize the supply by quite a bit. But with the 4th base mining on the left-hand side, this 5th base, even if this was to get picked off here, which it looks like it's going to, which is pretty nice here for Serral.
Yeah, that's nice, but I feel like he has to go kill the 4th as well.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's making a decent amount of units, and he does have that really good mutalisk count that you've been talking about, Apollo, so maybe he can get that done. You know, that's a big part of Zerg vs. Terran right now, getting enough mutas that you can kill these bases.
There are 11 mines and 30-odd marines walking around. That can be a problem to deal with. The mines alone are going to be a problem here, as there are not that many Banelings with a single mine connection here. A good one. Is it going to happen? As the Zerglings and Mutalisks...
That was actually pretty good for Serral overall right there. The mines pushing him back for now. More and more rallied units coming up. And another situation where Serral cannot lose this.
And the Widow mines have actually been working against Supernova, who's really been dragging the mines into the Marine squad really well with his Zerglings.
Look at this. The supply count has completely different at this point.
Yeah.
Serral has that lead. He's got a very strong army at the moment. Not starting 3-3 as we can see, which is kind of an issue, but his economy can't really do that. He has to basically take the tempo he's gaining right now and do something with that if he wants to actually win this match.
That's right. So as we can see, with a consistent wave going over to Supernova, I mean from Supernova over to Serral's base, this is starting to get difficult. If he can hold on, though, and save this base, things could work.
He needs to save that base, though. He cannot lose it. The Marauders staying up front. The Baneling's actually connecting there quite a bit. Can he actually get another good Baneling hit? Looks like no, not quite.
Now these Marines are just going to go crazy. The Mutalisks aren't really combat units at this stage of the game. When these Marines have 3-3, and the 4th base, it will have to be evacuated here. And as we can see, that is happening. And all of a sudden, the mineral income has just plummeted. Below 1,000 now for Serral. He's running out of minerals. He's got none on his main base. He's hardly got any on his natural. Things not looking too good from here.
No, they're looking pretty bad. And you know what? I got to commend the kid for staying alive this long. He actually made a fight of it even after we knew that he was really quite behind. I feel like Serral has a bright future indeed if he keeps playing.
Yeah, he's doing really well for himself here. Really, really well. He is giving a good fight to Supernova, but it looks like the experience of the veteran is starting to shine through the longer this game goes on. Still fighting with 3-3 over 2-2. And, well, Serral's going to march forward here. Does have a few Banelings with him. A couple of good connections could swing this in his favor once again, but there are not that many this time.
He's down by about 50 supply right now, Apollo. That's making me really scared. It's really going to come down to can he avoid bad mine hits and can he get good Baneling hits, as you said. And I don't know if that's going to be really possible. Oh, my God, that could be big. Oh, a good scan there by Supernova. Forward rolls all these Banelings with the Zerglings, not really doing what it needs.
Yeah, look at the amount of Marines that are there. The spread was great. The damage that they deal out here is remarkable, and another base gets picked off as Serral somehow digging his feet in the ground, but another borrow attempt there, and Supernova's quite on top of this attempt. It doesn't seem to be working.
Well, the one thing I guess that is left is can he get a really sweet fungal off on those Marines and get those Baneling connections still and maybe fight back? Thing is, without a 4th base anywhere, his economy is so bad that even if Supernova loses his whole army, his bank is big enough that it's not going to be that much of an issue.
And Supernova finds the Infestors and continues to stay outside of range of the Fungals, as that'll be what Serral's aiming to do here. Oh,
Well, those
he's gonna land
Infestors
it in
just
a
about
second.
ready.
There it is.
Oh, that's a very good fungal growth right there for sure. He actually, another really nice one. The thing is, no more Banelings. Thor even coming up. GG. And Supernova wins game number 1. But I must say right now, Apollo, Supernova is one of the best Koreans in the world. His Terran vs. Zerg is known to be his best, his strongest. He's the one that he likes the most. I feel like that map is pretty darn good for Terran vs. Zerg. And Serral is, you said 14?
Yes.
Serral's a talent, man. Imagine how good this kid is going to be in 3-4 years. Oh my God. Supernova has been a pro gamer for like 7 years now, or 8 years now. He was a StarCraft 1 pro that even played on TV in Korea. So, strong for Serral to put up a fight like that, even when he's behind, he's going to be really good. Like, really good.
Well, coming into this next map on Whirlwinds, let's see if he can put up a good fight again, because he will have to deal, and this map can get difficult to deal with. And there he is, actually, representing his team, ENTS Esports. And he did put up a good fight. Did start to fall away from him a little bit. The game started to, go quite in favor of Supernova the longer that it went on past the mid game. But his defense setup early on was very good. He had a lead, I'd say, for quite a bit in the early stages. Mm-hmm. And then things just started to fall apart a little bit. But we'll see how he can do on this next map.
Well, it is so hard to actually micro correctly in these situations. It's something that he's just going to have to practice more and more at. So, looks like we're going to start on Whirlwind now. Can Serral pull an upset victory, do you think?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I think he played really well, but I don't think it's quite there to how to beat Supernova. Because Supernova, unlike a lot of, I suppose, other Terran players that Serral's probably beaten in the past, probably, make a couple of mistakes at the same time that Serral's making them and do slow themselves down, but Supernova was all over the place. He was dropping, he was macroing fantastic, his supply depots, his barracks, his army movement, everything was very crisp, and Serral wasn't quite good enough and fast enough to keep up with him. The
multitasking of Supernova will tax any Zerg in the world, so the fact that Serral was that good against him, I'm just kind of excited to see how well he can do in this next game.
Well, we'll find out as we are now about to load into the next map between these two players. Is it going to be a 2-0? Can we see game number 3 as the first game of Group Stage 2 is about to conclude, or we'll see if it can conclude, because down here in the bottom left-hand side of Whirlwind, playing for ENTS Esports, from Finland, it's Serral.
Very focused there, as we can see. In the top right of Whirlwind, a ridiculously strong Terran player, favored to do very well in this tournament. It is Supernova.
How far do you think Supernova can do in this tournament, Artosis?
If Supernova has a strong tournament, I think he could get as far as top 8. The lineup is so fierce, though, that right around there, it's like, well, now I feel like your TVT and TVP are going to be put to the test too much, you know? Because I feel like this is definitely his best matchup. And his TVP sometimes shows a little bit of weakness, and there's a lot of strong Protosses here.
Yeah.
And as far as TVT with Flash and Invasion, he's not going to touch those two. Or Tasia either, for that matter.
Supernova almost made it to the Season 2 finals last season.
Yeah.
Finishing in 6th place, where 5th was awarded, or, down to 5th was awarded to go to the Season 2 finals to represent Korea. Unfortunately, not as successful this season, though. As you mentioned, his Achilles heel being against Protoss.
Yeah,
he was knocked out there.
It's not that his TVP is bad, but he definitely makes a few mistakes here and there in it. He sometimes overcommits a little bit. He's so much about all this attack, and that's why he's so strong in Terran vs. Zerg, because he's all over the place attacking everywhere at once, which is very good against Zerg, and sometimes works like a charm against Protoss, and then other times you get slapped down.
All right, well, Whirlwind's cross position here. We could see quite a longer game. I don't think that Supernova's going to try anything. I think he'll just go straight through command centers here.
3 command after factory?
Yeah.
Sounds about right. It's pretty safe overall, but Serral with a pretty quick gas here. You think there's a chance Serral might mix in a cheese?
I don't think so.
No?
The way that game number 1 went, I think he would be like, all right, well, I didn't do too bad
Yeah.
against Supernova, and I think I can step it up a level. That's how I think he'll approach this.
It's not a bad way to approach. You know, a lot of times we talk about how winning is absolutely everything, but, you know, if you know that you're not going to win the best of 3 against him, to play like some solid macro games against him and get that type of practice, Supernova is not a player that Serral can just go practice with. He's of a level that you literally just can't find Terrans on the ladder this good in Europe.
Yeah, that's true. That's completely true. And we'll see. I mean, considering that he cannot get that level of practice, it's a good performance from him, right? A very good performance from him, considering that. But we'll see, as he's about to find out that his opponent is top right, because he scouted to the bottom right, and he's going to scout to the top left now, and just by process of elimination know that he is playing against an opponent who is cross-spawned. And after the factory's been put down here, no second guess yet from Supernova. So it does look along the lines that, oh, no, there's the SCV and there's the second gas.
It's Supernova, man. I think that your call was a good one, but sometimes he just can't help himself. The guy loves to tech up.
All right, do you think it'll be the same again?
Probably. I think he's...
Stubborn old Supernova said it didn't work game 1, I will make it work game 2.
Well, it didn't work and he still won, I think, is the more important part of it, right? And this map actually much better for quick drops than Belshir. Belshir's so small. It's such an easy map to see things incoming, whereas just the size of the main base here on this map is going to give him more of an opportunity to get those Hellions around and actually kill some drones.
I was about to ask this before this factory came down.
Ooh.
Do you think that Supernova, well, I guess he is. I was going to ask,
do I think he might go 2 fact?
Well, I was going to say, do you think Supernova would have read into his opponent not getting a Roach Warren, which he did in the second game, and then be like, all right, if you're not going to do that, then I'm just going to do this and win?
Definitely could be. And
because that was missing last game.
Yeah, he never did go for that, you know. The Roach Warrens actually overall have kind of gone a little bit out of style in Korea.
He just cancelled speeds.
Did he now?
I'm sure he just cancelled it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he just cancelled speed. He's got his 100 gas back.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, I swear to God, unless I'm going crazy, Artosis, I saw cancelled.
Yeah, I don't...
I'm going crazy, Artosis.
That's E-Chrono boosted it.
I was like, oh my God.
Well,
okay,
that's okay. I forgive you. It's fine.
Maybe I just had white lines in my eyes. I don't know what's going on.
You're getting old, Apollo. That's what's happening.
I fall over in a minute, Artosis. Catch me.
I'll always catch you. I'll always be there for you, Apollo.
So without a Roach Warren, this could be very difficult to deal with.
You know, it's a scary thing. We do have a good amount of lings being made, but will he have enough of a wall? Will he have enough queens to actually fend this off? And I'm feeling like the answer is no. You know, I think he's going to be able to punch through here.
And there is no third command center. It's, you know, the barracks is getting stim. So behind this, it's just going to be this big powerful push coming out with the Hellions. And then behind it, it's going to have stim. And depending on how much damage he does here, he could just win the game outright, if not win it with a follow-up kill.
Yeah. The Blue Flame Hellions out of 2 factories. If Zerg doesn't know it's coming, it's about as bad as you can imagine. And in fact, he's going to come in and... Actually, that's not quite enough information. He doesn't know for certain that there's 2 gases, unless he clicked on that and is really good at knowing his gas timings.
Well, he knows that this could be something because he's thrown down a Spore Crawler, but he doesn't exactly know what it is.
Yeah.
And a Spore Crawler is obviously not going to help him out very much in this regard.
Well, here we go, Apollo. This could be brutal.
Yeah, this could be deadly. Let's see how well he can play this out, because more lings are on the way.
Oh, this is already painful to see, and that is a lot of Blue Flame Hellions going right into that natural. The Zerglings trying to pretend like they're going to come in, but they're definitely too scared.
16 more lings on the way, but these Hellions, there are so many good positions for them to hide around.
And this is the cost efficiency here for Supernova is pretty darn strong so far. That's some really nice lings surrounding, though, by Serral.
Yeah, but look at that. All the lings are almost gone, but he is going to clean it up just about.
Yeah, this was good.
Do you think that Supernova should have been out in the open on that right-hand side? Should he have been hugging the mineral lines a little bit more?
He probably should have just gone right into a closing area, but I don't think he cares. Apollo, more Blue Flame Hellions coming down. He's been so efficient against these lings, costing so much mining time, killing a lot of drones now as well. Ouch. Serral is Well, he's in a bad spot.
Well, his opponent's dropped down to 34 drones compared to 46. I don't even know how many drones he's killed here.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Very many.
A lot.
All right, well, more and more Blue Flame Hellions come down. He's actually still building 3 at a time. And this is forcing like an unlimited supply of lings to be made by Serral, which he does not want to make. He needs to remake his drones. He needs to continue to tech up. But it's a sad circumstance.
Yeah, his economy's really been stung by these Blue Flame Hellions. Baneling speed does now start up, and he can start 2-2, and he would have an upgrade advantage. Supernova, I mean, how much... Well, the Hellions are still building. Oh, my gosh. He's done... Is it more than enough? Has he done enough?
I think he's done more than enough. I think he's got the lead that he needs to just push forward into a victory. He is Supernova. Ooh, that was a really nice hit there by Serral. So he actually cleans that up. That's a very nice thing that just happened for him. And you know what? Maybe he can do some sort of big Roach Bane counterattack.
Well, +1 attack is being researched here.
Yeah.
Over getting 2-2 for Zerglings.
I like it.
Does he think that this is mech because the continuation of Hellions being made?
You know, that could be a possibility here, but I think he's a bit undecided on it.
He switched over to melee. I'm really sure he thought that was mech. Really sure. Because
well,
it is a little bit weird to see the Blue Flame Hellions continue to be built.
It's true, but I wouldn't have minded him still going for like a Roach Bane follow-up. When you actually produce out of your factories for that long, if you hit a really quick timing after you clean up the Hellions, then oftentimes they just don't have very much. You know, they might have 6 Widow Mines or something like that, but you can deal with that.
Well, 2-2 now is on the way, not too far ahead of the 1-1, which is completed, just about to complete. And the Overseer does see the majority of this with all the... Oh! These Marines and Banelings.
Well, if he gets a couple nice connections, not too bad.
The Lings are in the mineral line, which is the best part of all this.
Well, how many SCVs will he actually end up killing? Quite a few, in fact. More SCVs coming down to be killed.
53 SCVs to 68 drones?
Huh. Okay, not so bad. Serral is starting to make a comeback. At the same time, look at the minimap, Apollo. That's a very nice creep spread that he's got going.
Yeah, very nice creep spread indeed. He's got his 4th base down, and that's going to be the focus point of this game from here on out for Serral, is not to let that get destroyed. If he can mine from that with gases, he's going to have a high Mutalisk count again. He can keep up a high Baneling count. But that was a bit of a nice strike for Serral onto the SCV line.
Well, he's going to need a few more of those, I think, to really get to where he needs to be, because we're hitting that part of the game where Supernova is producing so much and will be attacking everywhere so much that's where Serral is going to start to look a bit weaker.
Well, he's sent out a counterattack here to be able to get to that mineral line. There is a mine and a bunch of Marines defending it, and here comes the push towards the 4th base from Supernova. Mines are going to take a good spot, and Banelings are getting morphed in here. Supernova doesn't have that many units, and he does pick up the majority.
And cleans up a lot of Widow Mines there. Another small victory here for Serral.
Ooh, look at that. Serral trying to break through this wall.
Well, it looks like he probably will. Going to go right through this bunker. Nicely done. And the Widow Mine.
Oh, nice.
That saved the day right there, but
8 kills.
A good idea.
But nice bait as well by Supernova with those 2 Marines, pulling those Zerglings a little bit more north, where the mine would hit. But now we have the Mutalisk count out, Infestation Pit's on its way as well, and Serral is on 4 bases. He's got to 4 bases, he's not being dropped at the moment, but as I say that, we do have one here south, and that will be making its way towards his main base most likely, where Supernova can then take a position, spread his Widow Mines around that 4th, which is still the most important part for Supernova.
Well, you know, this is a very interesting game that we're actually watching here, the way that Serral is actually dealing with everything so well. Look at this. He's keeping Supernova pretty much out of the center, but hopefully that drop in his main doesn't do too much.
Well, at the moment, it's targeted down the spawning pool. Zerglings are going to push us back. Transfuse is available on the Queen to help the spawning pool, but this drop is going to get cleaned up. Not as successful as Supernova thought it probably was going to be, and there's no way he's ever going to let a 5th base up. Supernova, he would be a fool to make that mistake.
Well, if Serral gets a 5th base going, your micro doesn't even have to be that good against a 3-base Terran, right? You can just kind of run them over. But right now, Supernova moving down. He does have some Hellbats in his composition. I think he has about 6 out on the map total right now. Oh no, I guess it's just 3, but That's kind of interesting because he does have that blue flame, but hold on, he is stimming and running forward. That is a lot of Banelings, but that Widow Mine, oh my god.
Oh, ooh. Wow. Lots of Widow Mine connections, but too many Marines left.
Doesn't quite have enough here. If he can hit these 2 Banelings, that could turn the tides. Oh, pretty well done. Even picking off quite a few medevacs.
Picking off quite a bit there, and he does have a supplier lead for the time being. But more and more units are going to pour down this way. Interestingly, that Serral does have a bit of a hold on to this game, better than he ever had previously. He's playing, he's playing it out longer. He's in the same game he is, well, in the same situation that he was previously, but in a much better spot. 5th base is now finished. He's got an Overlord and a Zergling, a couple of them on this potential 4th base for Supernova, and he's controlling Supernova's income at this moment.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing play by him, and we don't see as many of these really aggressive Widow Mine attacks here from Supernova that were so good on the last map. But he is going in, going to hit this base once again. Looks like he will finally get it.
Well, the Hive is now complete, and +3 attack and Adrenal Glands are on the way. That's going to help out these Zerglings quite a lot in these fights. Supernova going to make sure that that 5th base cannot be put down as Serral picks up another Medivac kill.
Serral.
And still, supply lead in favor of the Finnish player.
Dude, Serral is playing really well again. I was so afraid for him with those Blue Flame Hellions, which were pretty efficient at first, but everything's kind of going his way. This is fantastic play.
And +3 Carapace down too. Imagine if he had room to get the Ultralisk Cavern down and start aiming towards that, as it's now just been placed. And that's going to be where things can get difficult for Supernova if he allows that to come into play, allows Ultralisk to play. Because he really doesn't have that many Marauders at this point. He's starting to increase them, but only at 1 at a time.
Yeah, it seems like he's beginning to figure out what's going on. He's even getting those concussive shells now.
Yeah.
And 16 Widow Mines out, not bad. Adding a lot of turrets as well. I think, you know what? This is a nod from Supernova that they're going into the supreme late game of TVZ. And he's getting ready for it.
Drop on the 5th base of Serral is going to get cleaned up by that same name. As the Zerglings do make their way there, Mules didn't want to go in by themselves, didn't want to really lose any of them, but it is going to get cleaned up. As Supernova manages to establish his 4th base. Thor being added on to help out against these Mutalisks.
I quite do like that. We do have that attack for the Thor coming on as well. But the Thor not going to be quite as useful when there's a bunch of Ultras out in this unit composition as well.
That's right, and they will start to come out soon. There's already 400 odd gas in the bank. 1 Ultralisk is on its way.
He's getting that chitinous plating also. So 3/3 chitinous plating Ultralisks with mass lings and this type of pretty decent creep spread, he's going to be nearly impossible to break.
Well, 1 Widow Mine gets picked off there. Supernova could be in a bit of trouble soon. This is really working out. The 5th base is now being mined from Serral, so he's got a nice gas income for the time being. Still mining gas across all of these extractors across these 5 bases. And he is setting up a beautiful arc of units here on the left-hand side.
Starting to pick off these Widow Mines.
Clearing the pathway for his units here.
That, Supernova has to be careful, man. Like, the only reason he can even be out here is those 4 other Widow Mines that he has. Otherwise, he would get run over in a matter of seconds. And, in fact, triggers these Widow Mines, and it looks like Serral's decided it is time, rolling in from all sides. And it's not that efficient quite yet, but the Banelings continue to roll in those Marines. They are trying to get out of here. Great moves by Serral.
4 Ultralisks and 42 Zerglings on the way. The Mutalisks have retained themselves. Not too many were picked up.
Wow.
Supernova does hold on for now, but it's 200 supply versus 143. He's spent all of his money. He's got a tech switch coming in, which is the Broodlord, and a second Spider upgrade twice at the same time. He's making the switch away from Ultralisks as Supernova prepares to deal with them by building more Marauders and adding on an extra barracks for an extra tech lab. He's starting to do it at this moment with a 6th base to the top left.
You know, this is true, and Serral is playing like a Zerg should, Apollo, but at the same time, Supernova is actually getting his building upgrades, which tells us once again he's realizing that he's nowhere near having won this game yet.
Yeah, this is definitely in favor of the Finnish player right now. Game 1 potentially, could have continued in his favor. A couple of mistakes were made, but in this game, he's playing a game, you could say, of his life, because this is a big stage. It's the DreamHack Open in Bucharest. This is Group Stage 2, and currently, he's leading against Supernova in map number 2. Not the series, just map number 2. Borrowed Banelings there just outside the scan range. But these Ultralisks are going to be scary. Infestors coming into play as well.
When he has those 3 Infestors out with enough energy for some Fungals, this whole game could go his way. I'm starting to get some nerd chills right now, Apollo. Serral is playing like a man on fire.
+2 attack and +1 armor coming in for the air. 6th pace does get picked off, so that was really nice there from Supernova, keeping his opponent's income down. If that had been mined from, oh boy. Oh boy.
Indeed.
These Widowmines do...
Little bit sloppy there. Not the biggest deal losing just 1 Ultra now, but you have to be careful. You have to retain those Ultras as long as possible. They are just so expensive and actually do die pretty quickly.
And not only are these upgrades going to obviously help out the Mutalisks to do a lot of damage in the late game, they can pick off command centers really fast when this +2 attack and +3 potentially comes in, but also Broodlords for this eventual switch that we're going to be seeing.
Well, Broodlords are like the ultimate counter to Widowmine Marauder-based army, which is this is becoming more and more a Widowmine and Marauder-based army as he starts to counter these Ultras, so it's a beautiful tech switch.
I really think that the Broodlords should... Oh, hold that thought.
He's got to be careful here.
Serral, there's a lot of Widowmines there.
Oh, he actually deals with them all right. A few of these getting blown up right away. And that's some nice micro there by Supernova, really dealing with that situation as best as possible.
Keeping outside of the fungal range while dropping at the same time here. Supernova stepping up a gear against Serral, who is dealing with this. As he really can't allow Supernova to mine from another base. That will make it difficult. But I was going to say is I really like not to focus on Broodlords until it's like a necessary tech switch to win.
Yeah.
Because on a map like Whirlwind, it's so wide open. And the lack of mobility that Broodlords offer, it really should be only for a major tech switch.
It's when you go Broodlords, you're pretty committed to go kill the Terran. They're just too slow to even run around, and Supernova will run circles around them if he's able to. So kill off a little bit more for Supernova. As you said, don't let Supernova get that 5th base. That is a crucial thing in this game right now.
Well, I think Serral's going to be ready for another attack soon. He's maxed out. +2 attack is almost finished as well for his Mutalisks. And Supernova is pushing him a little bit here, being on this side of the map. Can the Fungals hit the Infestor there? Oh, is he going to turn around and watch it? Oh,
that is a nice hit indeed. The Mutas all come in from the side. More and more Ultras coming down, and this army is going to die.
Oh, this is a good time for the Mutas to go towards that 5th base, I think. He can hold off with the units that he's got, and if he was able to pick that off, it's completely undefended. But the problem is, does he even know that it's up there? Because at the moment, I don't think he does.
Well, it looks like he absolutely does not. He might check it pretty soon, though. Eventually, you've got to wonder, where is Supernova going to expand to next? Because it is time for Supernova to have that other base.
Well, he hasn't gone up there yet. Has Serral? Now he goes. Oh, he's going to pick it off, Artosis. Supernova. Oh, he comes in last minute to defend it. And with Banelings underneath the Mulus there with +2 attack, I think that would have just been destroyed so fast.
The star sense of Supernova right now is pretty amazing. It's like he knows every time there's going to be some extra Banelings burrowed and whatnot. Now, this Ultra, wrong way home right there. Running up now. He wants to take out this base. Good Widowmine connection.
He's going to try and focus it down.
Oh, fungal growth. Not actually the best fungal growth, but it looks like he will get this. Probably. Oh, God. This is. Oh, God.
What a defense.
Oh, poor Serral. That has to hurt Apollo.
Lost a lot of units. 7 Ultralisks, though, and 3 Infestors coming. But before they get out, he may lose his base now because he doesn't have any units after spending so much there. The Mulus, though, they must feel that they owe it to themselves to pick off that planetary fortress soon.
I know. That's so painful. He had it solo so many times. He just... You know what it was, actually? He kept pulling away. He's not used to playing against the building armor upgrade. Yeah. Because without that would have died each time that he pulled away, which was like 3 or 4 times.
Well, Supernova is here, and he's got a good position. Likewise, Serral is going to push down, but there's a lot of Widowmines.
Yeah. Ooh, that Widowmine.
Good Thor hit as well. And this is a strong position now that Supernova's found himself in. Unfortunately for Serral, dealing out that damage to the planetary did not work out for him. He lost a lot. And he's going to re-expand to a different location, or at least attempt to, but that's not going to work here, as Supernova has that on lockdown with some Widow Mines.
God, he does have a lot of mines all over the place, but hold on, here we go. Are we going to see a nice fungal growth going down?
Oh, what a position for Supernova.
Oh my God. That is efficiency right there.
This could be game over now. This is difficult. I mean, Serral's got a lot of money in the bank. He's going to try and make that Broodlord switch now. He feels it's now or never, but that Broodlord, which was just there in his face, must give Supernova an idea that this is happening. And before he can even get close to Broodlords, he's going to lose a lot. And this game, you must say that just so close, but so far from Serral's grasp.
I tell you, this amazing play, better play than last game from Serral here. And Supernova has truly been pushed to his limits this game, but it looks like he's going to come out on top anyways. The guy is... Well, this is what happens when you're one of the best Terrans in the whole world.
Yeah, look at this. Mutalisk decide to try to do something here as Mines and Marines chase the Mutalisk away, and Supernova's force just crushing through here.
Some Broodlords on a way, but that is too little too late. The economy of Serral has been torn apart. It's got very little left. Will end up killing off this army, but Supernova is going to have plenty where that came from.
Well, Supernova really doesn't have any Vikings or anything out yet, remember, still. I mean, there's 6-odd Broodlords about to come to play.
And, you know, he is actually still focusing heavily on Widow Mines and Marauders, thinking that this is going to be Ultra all game long. So it's a... You know, this is kind of like... You said you wanted him to do it to win, but this is to do it to get back in to win.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit different than what you would optimally want, obviously, but... We'll see if he can get something done with these Broodlords. It is a possibility.
Well, currently the income's pretty bad for Serral. 700 minerals a minute compared to roughly 2,000 when mules are active.
Oh boy. Which is a lot of the time.
Is a lot of the time.
Well, these Widow Mines going to be pretty useless here, as well as the Marauders. I feel like Serral needs to go punch a hole in the defenses right now of Supernova if he wants any chance to come back.
Well, these Mulists and Corruptors are protecting the Broodlords rather well here. So Supernova's got a bit of a task ahead of him. If he's going to be able to stop this, he can't really switch over to heavy Viking production because he doesn't have that much money himself.
And look at this. He's trying to get forward and actually get under here, but all those Lings do come up. Really nice protecting of these Broodlords there.
And Serral's pushing forward. Artosis is doing rather well at the moment. He's losing a lot of Zerglings at the front, but these Broodlings are doing a lot at this moment.
Well, Supernova continuing to micro back. He is making some Vikings now to try to help out. Again, the anti-air, though, is a little bit better here for Serral. He's got really great anti-air upgrades.
Oh, the Thor's trying to come in to help out with this, too, to hit that Mutalisk flock. And, well... At this moment, the Marines are trying to micro back. Serral's still pushing Supernova back. The supplies are very equal. The Vikings really aren't going to do that much with so much support in Corruptors and Mutalisks here.
He's pushing him back all the way.
I mean, he's been pushing from the middle of the map, from the Zelnaga Tower.
And look at this. He's actually starting to really break through. Supernova's supply has plummeted. They're actually even at this point, trying to go ahead and pick off all those Vikings. Some beautiful Thor shots hitting that Mutalisk clump. And the Marines continuing to try to just stem through.
They're trying to stem through. They're trying to protect these Thors at the back. Mutalisks go in. They're going to get destroyed really fast. And Supernova's making a very strong hold on his natural. And Serral's army has been whittled down here. There's not too much left. With still 9 Marines per cycle coming in. Another expansion to the top left-hand side for Supernova.
Wow, even expanding during all this. Really well played. A beautiful fungal growth does fall down. He does have a few more as well in these infestors. And he's pushing Supernova back. He's going to take over at least some of this production area.
Well, some of this production area, but there's a lot more inside the main base, which is still fully operational. But Serral pushing and pushing with so little income. Just everything that he has right now is pushing forward. Is Supernova going to buy enough time here? This could be a close one.
You know what? He might be able to, but look at this. More Lings, more Banes on the way, and that's exactly what Serral needs to do. Tech switch out of Broodlords now. Let these be your last Broodlords. He's going to overcommit to those Vikings. In fact, 2 more starports coming up, but is it quick enough?
Oh, Broodlord gets picked off on that left-hand side here. One more shot, and it does get... And now Mutalisks trying to get towards these Vikings. There's Marines in front of them, and that's a lot of Marines up there. Fungal grabs a couple of them here. 2 starports being added on by Supernova on his 3rd or 4th base, whatever base we're going to call it, in the middle,
yep,
to try to build some more Vikings to deal with this.
And look at this. Serral is actually sieging this main base area. He's really going to start cutting into the production. In fact, you see that reflected in that production tab. We have 3 more barracks on the way by Supernova, presumably over at his 5th. So if he's holding on over there and making his production, that's really going to help him out to actually get an army up to kill this.
Almost got another Broodlord picked off there. These Vikings are so crucial. Their range doing so well, and he could easily pick that off now, and he does destroy another Broodlord. Only 4 of them are left now, and that leaves a lot of Banelings and Infestors, but with good spread of Marines, the Marines are eventually going to be able to beat this if the Broodlords keep getting picked off in the way that they are, and Supernova's composure under all this pressure is absolutely fabulous to see.
Yeah, he's
expanding, reproduction, adding on.
Everything is very smart the way Supernova's doing it. It's just like he's been a bit tricked by this tech switch. When it felt like Supernova had the game, Serral pulls out all these Broodlords out of seemingly nowhere. But you know what? He's going to raise this main base.
And the anti-air is very low at the moment for Serral. He's only got those Corruptors left. He's lost all his Mutalisks. The Vikings are going to outrange them. They keep going into turrets, and eventually here, the Vikings are going to outnumber the Corruptors, Artosis. And with a bit of repairing on them, they're going to kill all the Corruptors. They're trying to get added on. A couple more are trying to get added, but Serral simply doesn't have the money. And once the Corruptors go down, there's only going to be Fungals, maybe a couple of Infested Terrans to protect the Broodlords.
You know, I wish Serral was just mining a bit more, Apollo. It's a tough spot with those Widow Mines helping out as well. You know what? If he kills all those Marines, though, that's a pretty big moment. That's a ton of supply and Marines sitting over here.
No! Supernova.
That was really well done there by Supernova, splitting that out of the way. A couple good Fungals can ruin Supernova's day right now.
And he's going to have to keep avoiding them for now. A couple of mines in front of the turrets holding on in the corner. They are pinned in the corner. But where is the squadron of Vikings? Where is it?
I think it's still being amassed.
Right.
Ooh, that's a lot. But, you know, if he gets a couple good Fungals down on them when they're clumped, then he can still do it. Now, here we go. We actually do have a Fungal going down.
Vikings have to come in.
Oh, yeah, they need to come right now, actually. He just lost a bunch of his Corruptors. So even though he cleans this up, the Vikings will kill off his entire air army easily.
Yeah, a lot of Vikings got fungal there. He managed to escape, but still, the Zerglings alone with no Marines left, with no ground units left. There's only Vikings, really.
That's a big issue.
If you look at the units tab, it's 11 Marines, 3 Marauders, which is not enough to beat the ground army. The Vikings are going to rule the skies now. That's a given. The Broodlords are dead.
Well, he might have to end up landing them kind of soon here, man. This is... The army that Serral has on the ground is just going to run around and start eliminating things. He needs to go and... What did he just land and kill? Okay, not the Infestors. I was scared for a moment there.
If that could have been something special. But now Serral's in search of these expansions, having a look around. Zerglings making their way there. The Marauder count's trying to increase. He's going to have to land these Vikings. He's actually going to have to fight with them.
I think you're right.
This is a remarkable game here.
And look at this. A lot of Lings coming to these Marauders will not last long. He's going to go up, start hitting some of the new supply depots. The Marauders trying to kite back. They should be able to pick off that Ultra. They do, in fact.
And he's going to get the Infested too. So then it's just, oh, nope. And then it would just be Zerglings are left. That's all it's doing. And if he readjusts his mines, he's got mines somewhere on the map here.
That's true. He has a few out there that have been harassing and whatnot. But yeah, he should send those back into his army if he can.
Serral's mining from a base in the bottom right, Artosis. Look at that. Look how many drones are there. It's fully saturated.
His income is coming back up, but
he may be able to win this game.
Well, let's see. What does Supernova actually have mining? I think he's not mining at this point. And I think for orbitals, he has very few left, like 1 or 2 max. Now, if these are... yeah, there's 2, 3. Okay. So he has 3 orbitals. Not necessarily in the best spots. He's going to want to be dropping mules to get his economy back up. What if we start seeing a few more Baneling landmines, a little bit better usage of burrow?
Banshees.
Ooh, that's smart.
But this hatchery in the bottom right has not been picked up upon. And if that is kept mining, then he can easily go back over to Corruptors to deal with this. As soon as he sees it.
But you know what? All that he really needs is 2 to 4 Banshees with Cloak that just fly out, kill all the Infestors, and start going to work on Banelings. That would just put Supernova into a very nice spot.
Well, well, well. Oh, oh. 1 out of 3. Yeah, 1 out of 3 get picked off. 2 remain alive there, and the Marauders get picked up. So, Corruptor is being made. 3 Banshees as well.
Well, a Corruptor technically can kill 5 Banshees. It's just, what do you lose in the meantime?
Oh, there are still the Vikings, though, too, remember,
yeah,
to help out the Banshees. And this base is mining for Supernova. He's getting mules down there.
You know, he's going to be able to clean out the Overseers. This might just be a really weird victory by Supernova where it suddenly looks like he's going to lose again, and then, bam, that's... The Banshees kill everything suddenly, and Serral had no idea it was coming.
Well, right now, the Banshee counts at 3, and there's about to be 3 more. It's 6 Banshees. 6 Banshees.
With 2 Infestors and a Corruptor as the anti-air at the moment, it's not quite enough.
That's not enough. That's not enough at all.
Some more Corruptors.
Oh, look, he's found out, man.
Oh, boy.
He's lost all the Infestors there.
Well, that base goes down, but the amount of time it would take for this army to actually make its way down and find that base that Serral has down at the bottom right, I think he's going to have enough time to get something else up.
Hydralisk Den coming to play. There's still quite a few Marines here, Marauders too. These Banshees are just... they're untouched at this moment.
And he's getting more and more.
And the Corruptors just die instantly to these Vikings.
Well, this is why he's going for the Hydralisk Den. Will that end up working out? You know what? If he... Let's see. How many Infestors does he have right now, if any? He has 0. He has 2 Queens. It's his anti-air for the moment. 8 Hydras are on the way. Hopefully he's making those out of hatcheries that he's going to be able to use.
And Supernova has a new base to the top left now that's, being mined from, pretty much. Supernova just is looking in a position where this could be his game again.
Yeah.
Even though it looked like it was about to go in favor of Serral. The Hydras come out to play, but there's already 3 or 4 Banshees with Cloak. There's nothing to detect them.
Oh, God, that's true. He needs to get his spores actually doing something. That is a lot of Banshees. Oh, I don't know, Apollo. That amount of Banshees just kills all this on attack
Well, the
move.
transfuses are trying to go down, but they're getting picked off too fast. That's it. There's no anti-air. What a game this was, though, from both sides.
Yeah, this pretty fantastic play from both these players. Supernova showing that, like, no matter how good you are and how well you play, you just can't kill him. And Serral, I can almost say the same about. This kid, it looked like he was going to be in a terrible spot all game long, but he fought back just brilliantly.
And, well, nice pickup of those 8 Marines. As the Banshee's going to try and pick off these Banelings and the rest of the units, and then the Marines can come down and fight. But Serral is in a bit of trouble. He's not going to prevent this base from mining for too long. The Banshees are just going to push these units away, and he can't afford to just lose them. And the Banshees, the Banshee count's now Artosis 9, with a 10th one on the way. And there's 4 Hydras being made. So that's the anti-air, 4 Hydralisks.
Mass Banshees, Imba. It's a tough thing to deal with, man. He is getting a spore. He's making some Hydras. He does have that 1 mining base. Both their supplies are pretty grossly low. Thing is, like, a decent amount of Hydras plus some spores can hold his other base for a while. But what good does that do him? Because Supernova will just continue to expand and get more mining bases.
Well, eventually the Banshees are just going to be too much here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're already too much. There's 10 of them, and there's 5 Hydralisks.
Well, that's way more than enough. Thing is, eventually, maybe he can get enough Hydras out that he'll have some sort of chance. 10-7.
Well, currently the Hydra count is increasing. It's going to be 11, but it's going to be 13 Banshees. And then remember, there's still a bunch of units down. Supernova spends scans and is like, oh, wait a minute, oh, now I get it. Now I know where you've been mining from. And immediately Banshees make a new destination on the map.
I think so. I think I have an inkling as to where they're headed to. Well, will he be able to actually hold on here? That Widow Mine coming in, that's going to be highly annoying. It's going to hurt his economy a little bit right there.
Yeah, just get picked up nice and easy, though. But here come the Banshees.
Oh, boy.
And there's nothing here at the moment.
Pretty sure that 1 queen isn't going to stop this.
There's some Hydras coming, but Oh dear, Artosis. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dearie me,
And this
Apollo.
hatchery is going to get destroyed while Supernova, re-expands again.
Well, he's coming in with his Hydras. And, of course, we're going to see those Banshees actually run away. Now, I think that's probably the end of Banshee production. Supernova's going to have to go back into a more normal army because if you keep spending all of your money on Banshees, they're expensive, and he doesn't have the best upgrades. I think he only has +1 air attack on them. But, this is, it's just not quite enough from Zerg.
Yeah, and look at this push through the middle now. This is the game-ending push coming from Supernova, who's played equally a fantastic game here. The Banshees don't even cloak, they just kill everything. Okay, they cloak at the end here, and Serral is just left out of options because even though the Banshees are starting to get picked off, there's a bunch of units behind it, and GG is called. Supernova takes a 2-0 over Serral. And well, Artosis, we were not expecting that kind of game to come out.
No, you know what?
Two.
When I saw we were casting Supernova versus Serral, I thought for sure that was going to be very one-sided, a 2-0 from Supernova. Not the greatest of games, but Serral played like a boss. The kid played like someone far older than 14 with a lot more experience, and I'm sure Supernova is a bit shocked. That's a player I guarantee you he hasn't heard of.
Yeah, and congratulations to Serral just for the performance, but congratulations to Supernova for the 2-0 result. And that's the game that we covered, because Battle.net, from what I've been told, is back up and running, Artosis.
Sick.
So we get to jump back on to where we were trying to be before, which I imagine would be Flash versus Damaga if something hasn't changed. And as we can see in the bottom left, yes, it is. Flash from KT Rolster will play up next against Damaga. It's going to be a good one.
It is going to be fantastic, Apollo. So I can't actually wait to talk about this. I was talking to Damaga about what his plans are for Flash. And
You are the best player in the world!
I don't know what to say. Yeah, I mean, when I came here, I wasn't really expecting to win, but at the same time, it was my goal, so yeah, feels incredible.
Serral, this goes beyond you becoming the best of the best. Your legacy goes beyond StarCraft 2. It goes to all of StarCraft history. In the last 20 years, we have never seen a non-Korean dominate in the fashion that you have and become the best of the best like you have. What does it mean for you to be part of this historic moment?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting. I know. I mean, it's just this is kind of what I was missing from my trophy collection, I guess you could say, and I really wanted to win this one, so I'm super happy I managed to do it, and I'm super happy to make history while doing it as well.
Starting from Leipzig of this year all the way here to Anaheim, you have so many fans all around the world that have been rooting for you. What do you have to say to them?
First off, I want to thank all my fans. I think every one of you has helped me to make me achieve what I've achieved. So I really want to thank everyone. And also, I want to give a big thank you to Lambo. He helped me for each series, for preparations. And also my practice partners for Dark and Rogue, who were Eraser and Numster. So I want to thank all of those.
And there you have it. Your 2018 WCS Global Champion is Serral.